Okay, DC news roundup of the week. Some bigger news than Marvel, I guess we had this week. Superman Legacy had some casting news, including everyone's favorite space cowboy, Nathan Fillion. The pieces are beginning to fall into place for Superman Legacy, which is being heralded as the first film in James Gunn and Peter Safran's new DC universe.
Yes.
Wait a second. I thought he said Blue Beetle is included.
Yeah, but this is the first. He said this is like
First
the
film, but
launch.
Blue Beetle is. Oh my god. The Flash is out on digital this week, by the way. Did you?
Yes.
Oh, did you already go see it in theaters? Okay, well, I'll probably watch it this weekend now that it's out.
I'll probably watch it this weekend.
So on Tuesday, we knew with news that Clark Kent, Superman, David Cornsweet will be far from the only superhero in the film, with Isabel Merced cast as Hawkgirl, Edie Gathaga as cast as Mr. Terrific. Oh, I didn't know he was in it. And Nathan Fillion cast as Guy Gardner, Green Lantern. The later cast has arguably made the most waves online between Gunn and Fillion's history of previous collaborations, and genuine surprise over the actor being tapped to play a Green Lantern after years of being fan cast as Hal Jordan. Yeah, he actually played Hal Jordan in a couple of DC animated movies. He did the voice for it. A friend said to me when he heard about this casting is if whether he's going to show up with the bowl cut. As you can see here, I
feel like they're gonna
has an awesome bowl cut right there. I don't think he will. They'll probably update him, I would hope.
I would say like it will, but at the same time, maybe not. Like I feel like they kind of gotta do it.
So there's also speculation by including this many heroes. Whether it's unclear how prominently Guy Gardner will factor into Legacy. Gunn has confirmed that Fillion will portray the character in whatever subsequent stories involve him in the DCU. That raises the question of what these stories could entail, in particular, what could they possibly mean for Justice League International. I figure at some point Justice League International will show up.
Yeah, I mean, eventually.
Well, they might stick to like the second tier Justice League members, like Booster Gold, Blue Beetle, those kind of characters in with the... he's very good at making B characters popular, a la Guardians of the Galaxy. And he did a good job with Suicide Squad, which were also mostly B characters, so...
Yes.
He could kind of take the throwaway Justice League members and put them in that. More Superman Legacy news. Breakout actor from Barry, Anthony Kerrigan, has been cast as Metaphormo. On the heels of last night's major casting news, another established DC character has been added to James Gunn's upcoming DC reboot. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Anthony Kerrigan, who emerged as the breakout star of HBO's Barry, is set to play Metaphormo. He joins the previously announced David Cornsweet, Rachel Brosnahan, Isabel Merced, Edie Gathegi. I don't know. It's hard to... Words are hard. And Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. In the comics, Metaphormo, aka Rex Mason, was a misunderstood hero who could transmutate elements in his body to form into various forms, taking those properties on as powers. After first being an archaeologist, his abilities set him on the path of heroism. He later became a detective and a founding member of the super group known as the Outsiders. Anthony Kerrigan's fine actor. Obviously he's great in Barry.
I think he's a great actor.
I really haven't seen him in anything else other than Barry, though.
There's like one show and a movie that I'm trying to remember. Wow, of course now I'm forgetting, but he was really good. Shoot.
I feel like maybe he's in something recent though. Anthony Kerrigan.
Yeah, definitely recent.
DB. Let's see his IMDb. Born in Massachusetts. Nope. Right. He was in Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Yeah, but no. Was it Fatherhood, or is that what it was that I saw there?
With Kevin Hart? No, I never saw that.
No, it wasn't that. Anyway.
He was in Gotham as Victor Zsasz. Oh, I didn't know that. Huh.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
He's already been in the DC universe, and he was also in The Flash. As the
right,
Miss.
yeah.
No stranger to terrible DC projects.
Yeah, he'll fit right in.
Yeah. Okay, next DC news. I mean, it's kind of fan casting and maybe a little bit of hope, but God of War fans think actor Christopher Judge should be Darkseid in the new DC universe. The DC universe has been in shambles for about a decade now. In 2013, a new DC universe led by Zack Snyder was kicked off with Man of Steel and was given a sequel, Batman vs Superman, which properly put a plan in effect to create a competitor to the MCU. It should say which failed to properly put in plan, which failed to properly plan. Unfortunately, critics and audience didn't respond too well to those early movies, and a bunch of micromanaging created even worse follow-up films, including the now infamous Justice League. After years of trying to pivot and course correct, WB eventually just gave up, decided to reboot. Reboot was for the best. In comes James Gunn. With that being said, fans have been casting different iconic characters in the DC universe for future films. We have yet to see Batman, Wonder Woman, and other DC heroes, but fans of Reddit are eyeing one of the biggest DC villains for actor Christopher Judge. The Kratos actor is being fan cast as Darkseid, one of the most formidable foes of the Justice League. One of the most formidable foes of the Justice League. Period.
Yes.
It's a weird sentence. Like ever faced or like as a villain? I don't know. The character did appear in the previous DC universe in Zack Snyder's Justice League, but he was being set up for a larger role for a sequel. He made a strong impression on fans, but his screen time was so minimal that it left a lot to be desired. Given the size and intimidating features of Darkseid, it only makes sense that for an actor like Christopher Judge to play him. Whether they choose to make Darkseid totally CG or create him using makeup, no bad idea. Judge has the voice and physical build to take on the character. So
I mean,
they can't do it. They can't do physical. I imagine him like an Ultron or a Thanos, and Judge being like, Judge can do the motion capture and the voice, but I don't think they can. Like, I just feel like it's gonna end up like Apocalypse from X-Men, like how bad Oscar Isaac looked.
Yes.
But yeah, he's a totally fine actor. He's won video game awards, no Emmys. But his got Kratos and Teal'c in Stargate, classic character, has the demeanor. Although I'm not sure he is as big as he used to be, given I read he had some back surgery issues something. So
definitely not as.
I'm not sure he's lifting as much as he used to, but he definitely has the voice and the acting chops for it. Yeah,
I would agree.
McFarlane Toys is getting in on more DC Multiverse collector edition of line of action figures is coming out.
Sweet.
There's an old style Superman from Action Comics. Back in April, McFarlane Toys announced that they would launch a collector edition line of action figures designed and produced exclusively for the core collector. So that's you, Josh. Given all the statues you have in the background, was that a group? Well, you at least have a group back there, don't you? Is that a baby group? Is that a baby group?
No, it's an alien plushie. Sorry, my bad. I apologize.
What this meant exactly wasn't clear, beyond noting that the line would have a special focus on a rich and diverse catalog of characters that would allow the most dedicated fans to complete their desired universe. Many fans undoubtedly took this to mean higher quality action figures that don't have a bat symbol on their chest, but today is the day we finally got answers to your burning questions. This is the first wave of pictures they've let out.
That was pretty cool.
The 7-inch Superman... there's a 7-inch Superman Abyss from Batman 118, Green Lantern Alan Scott from Day of Vengeance. These figures are positioned as a step up from the standard DC Multiverse figures with a $29.99 price tag. Compare Green Lantern to the upcoming Dread Lantern SDCC exclusive. Ooh, what does that look like?
Ooh.
Oh, with the fiery eyes. So there's Abyss.
That one's sweet.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of action figures, like the movable stuff.
Yeah.
McFarlane did come out with a Batman Hush that I bought that's
Oh, really?
in my Batman collection. That's not an action figure. It's more just a statue. Farland Batman. It was like $49.99. Yeah, it's this one.
That's dope. Walmart website, gotta love it.
$54. Yeah, so the cape is rubber. It doesn't move. It's molded like that. But yeah, it actually stands up. I have a Batman Who Laughs kind of action figure from McFarlane, and it never stands up, even though it's on its a little stand.
Damn.
So
Nice.
yeah.
Sweet.
What else do we have here? I think this is the last DC news, and then we have one He-Man thing. That's not really DC, but it's fun. So Warner Brothers has refused requested reshoots for Blue Beetle. James Gunn said Blue Beetle is my guy. He's gonna be the guy. The last trailer that came out still looked like it was gonna be a fun movie.
Yeah. The last trailer I think made it look very good, but at the same time, like I feel like I watched the whole fucking movie. Like enough.
Oh yeah, the 3-minute trailer was like,
like enough with this shit.
It seemed like
seriously,
most of the movie.
I actually I watched half of it. I can tell you right now, I watched half of it, and I was like, I have to stop. If I'm gonna enjoy this movie, I gotta stop. Like,
yeah.
What the fuck are we doing?
Trailers are getting a little excessive. Warner Brothers has turned down a reshoot request for this summer's upcoming DC movie, Blue Beetle. In 2023, DC is unveiling 4 superhero films, all of which have undergone development under 3 different studio regimes, starting with AT&T's Warner Media, then Warner Brothers Discovery, and now DC Studios under the leadership of James Gunn and Peter Safran. Shazam, The Flash, Blue Beetle, and Aquaman, then The Lost Kingdom have all adapted to these changes throughout the production. The Hollywood Reporter recently released an article delving into the incredibly tumultuous development of Aquaman 2, revealing that the team behind this summer's Blue Beetle movie requested 2 days of reshoots, but Warner Brothers turned down their request. On the other hand, the studio did permit 5 days of reshoots for Aquaman 2, after DC Studios CEO James Gunn provided his input on the troubled latest cut. Ooh. Well,
wow,
maybe this is good then.
Holy, so he's inputting on shit that hasn't even been released that he hasn't even made.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But this might be good for the Blue Beetle movie in that Gunn thought it was like, you don't need reshoots, it's good enough. And he saw Aquaman, he's like, oh god, this is a disaster.
Wow.
Originally conceived as an HBO Max original movie with the declining DCEU, Blue Beetle will now be the first entry in Gunn's side from the new DCU. The decision by Warner Bros. To decline reshoots for Blue Beetle might signal the studio's low expectations for its box office performance. Conversely, the same studio greenlit 5 days of reshoots for Aquaman, which I can't imagine will be much better in terms of box office. Considering Shazam 2 and The Flash faces box office disappointments, possibly influenced by James Gunn's upcoming reboot, many anticipate that both Blue Beetle and Aquaman 2 may encounter a similar fate. Whether the rejected reshoots could have improved Blue Beetle remains uncertain, but given their short duration of just 2 days, they likely had a minimal impact on story. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think anyone thinks that Blue Beetle is going to be a hit, or Aquaman, given... Oh, excuse me. Given
No problem.
it has nothing to do with the new story coming out for DCU. People really like Jason Momoa, but the first one wasn't all that great, even though it made money.
Right.
And Amber Heard has been a problem, whether she's in it for 5 minutes or 20 minutes. It's still gonna feel like there's a PR thing waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's fine that they didn't do reshoots, given it would have affected it minimally anyways. The 5 days on Aquaman after James Gunn saw it is kind of concerning, but they've had to change that. I'm sure they've changed that ending so many different times.
Well, it's probably up, I would say 5 times.
Because at one point they had Keaton in it as Batman, then they had Affleck as a Batman and cut that. Like, there's...
Yeah.
That one's gonna be more of a
Batmans.
That one's gonna be more of a mess than Blue Beetle, for sure.
Yeah.
Last article today, but not related to DC. I just thought I'd throw it in. Last week we talked about one of the creators of Masters of the Universe saying how big of a universe it could be, and there's going to be video games and toys and cartoons and live action and movies and blah blah. Well, that'll lasted a week. Netflix has pulled the plug on a planned Masters of the Universe movie, resulting in a potential loss of $30 million. For years, there have been plans to develop a new live action adaptation of Masters of the Universe on Netflix. This would follow multiple animated adaptations which have been made for the streaming platform in recent years. While progress on the film was slow, things seem to be moving well. Last year, it was reported that Kyle Allen had boarded the project as the new He-Man. However, Variety now reports that Netflix has scrapped the project, opting not to move forward with the reboot after all.
Wow.
According to the new report, around $30 million had already been spent on the movie and various development costs. An unknown amount has also been paid to secure Allen and directors Adam Nee and Aaron Nee, The Lost City. The Lost City? That was a good movie. Altogether, the project is estimated by some sources to have cost close to $60 million at this point.
Holy fuck.
I mean, I'm sure they Allen and those directors had pay to play, like contracts. Like, you're going to pay me no matter what. It's also reported that the reason Netflix decided to scrap the film is because of the bloating budget. Mattel spokesperson confirmed that the movie won't move forward at Netflix, but didn't say if the film will be shopped to other streamers. Oh, maybe they don't have the rights anymore. Word is the budget would have ultimately cost more than $200 million, and after it was previously greenlit, the Masters Universe reboot was set to start shooting in February. Those plans were halted with a big drop in stock at Netflix, reportedly resulting in around $50 billion in value lost. The Variety report notes that the company was unwilling to spend more than $150 million on the film, apparently killing a project. Even so, pulling the plug after $30 million had already been spent for early development costs wasn't exactly expected. Yeah, I mean, they put $30 million in. They had like $120 million left.
Yeah, like, okay.
If they wanted to keep it under 150. Yeah. So I guess I would have liked to have seen a reboot. Sure. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
The original has a special place in my kid heart. Growing up watching it as a kid, and Frank Langella was always great as Skeletor, no matter what the rest of the movie was. It's kind of like these budgets for movies are kind of getting outrageous.
Correct.
I mean, they're already outrageous, but like, so Indiana Jones, the new one, cost $300 million apparently, and it just broke even.
Yes.
But then I found out this week that Oppenheimer only cost $100 million to make. Like, you look at the scale of like 3-hour epic movie. Sure, it's character driven, but you have a gigantic cast of A-listers.
Yep.
And an A-list director, and he can do it at $100 million and shoot it on film in IMAX.
Yeah.
Which is a cost of itself. I kind of feel like studios don't care really about
100%.
budget anymore because they're just gonna write it off.
What does it matter? Because I mean, Netflix made how many billions of dollars? So for them to piss away $60 million,
Yeah.
it's like nothing to them. It's like nothing. It's nothing.
But they're not even keeping it like reasonably in control, it seems. They're just
No, it's not. I feel like because everything, like the numbers are just continuing to go up for everything, that they're like nothing's getting reflected for anything regarding inflation. It's only this type of movie made profit. Well, then it's got to make this much profit. Well, how are we going to make it this much profit? Well, we got to market it as much as they did. Well, how much is that going to cost? $150 million or $120 million minimum. And it's like, okay, well then that was already our budget. Well, we're gonna have to double it.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
I also
It is. I agree.
Kind of feel like with all of these movie studios having streaming now, that they factor that into the budget of how much. Okay, so we make this big movie.
I would 100% believe
we may lose $100 million, but then we have this movie on our streaming platform for life.
Yeah.
And it adds to the content of we're going to keep raising the price eventually of like it's $9.99. Like, I just read Netflix got rid of the free ad plan for US and Canada, and now the cheapest one is like $15.99.
Wow.
So, and they added like 5 million subscribers based on the password crackdown thing in the US per month. So They're
Holy
fine.
fuck.
They
Yeah.
they're not so worried about blowing money.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the news roundup of the week. Appreciate you watching the video. Subscribe, like if you care to, and leave a comment about who would be your choice for He-Man.